Do you have abandonment wounds, or do you even recognize if you have a fear of abandonment? I bring this up because I think on my lived experiences, and one of the root causes of my previous insecure attachment style was a fear of abandonment. My previous attachment style was fearful avoidant. So that is kind of like a push and pull type insecure attachment style. So when it comes down to abandonment or fear of abandonment, one thing that I noted is that, with the exception of your parents, nobody is obligated to stay with you, for lack of better words. When we think about childhood and we think about the developmental and formative processes that happens in a child, your parents are essential in your understanding of the world, understanding of safety, security, all the things that's required for someone to grow, right? But then when you become an adult, that the energy, the intensity is not quite there. Now you're being shaped by the societal, social systems that you are part of and your friends. But if you had unstable parent-child dynamics, or you had insecurity with regards to attachment when you were a child, that ends up bleeding into how you are presented in the world, and that ends up bleeding with how you interact with people in the different social systems that you are in. But when I came to Christ, when I came to knowing Jesus and knowing God and being called a daughter and a friend, I realized one of the most instrumental statements that basically changed my abandonment issues, and this fear of abandonment, is the statement, I am with you. Throughout the Bible, you will hear there are different stories or different presentations in which God says, I am with you. Maybe through fear, through doubt, through different storms. There's just that statement, I am with you. And hearing that, and when people say it or reading it in the Bible, it changed something in me. And it made me realize that even though people can leave you, God never leaves you. God has always been with you. And I look at my life, it's like God has literally always been with me. Even when I did not know Jesus, I can see how God has been with me throughout my entire lived experiences. And then I was able to start breaking down the root cause of my abandonment wounds, and going through therapy in my past, and working through different modes of healing. Now I'm able to say, oh, my parents' divorce added in my abandonment issues. I mean, I think I mentioned in one of my posts before, like I knew about a year before that my parents were going to get divorced. Like I knew specifically, like my dad was going to initiate it. I don't know what he did, but something popped in my head and I was just like, this man is going to break up our family. So for like a year, there was like a degree of hidden stress. I was just waiting for it. Like I was watching and I was waiting. And so I was the one who saw him literally pack his bags that night. And it was a nighttime, I remember it so clearly. I watched him pack his bags and I watched him leave. And it was just kind of like, I knew it. So it was just kind of frustrating to now realize, oh, that's part of the ways. And even then in childhood, in different ways that my parents showed me different insecurities in attachment, and then realizing that part of why I was clingy a bit to the people who were really harmful and unsafe with me when I was growing up, to my adolescence, and then really up to, I would say, even recently to a certain degree, was the fear of abandonment, the fear of not wanting people to leave me. But I think it's just so important to catch yourself in how you present that fear and what that fear makes you do. One, and on the flip side, that fear can definitely make you push good people away, right? You run away from people who you think will leave you. So you leave them before they leave you, or you cut things off before they can cut things off with you because you're afraid of it not working out. And then on the other side, you cling on to harmful people because you just don't want anyone to leave you. So you cling on to people, you hold on to any morsel, any small, minimal effort. You hold on to it and you cling to it thinking it's good, even though it might be the worst and it's killing you, it's actually hurting you. But you are not paying attention because you just don't want anyone to leave you. So I share this, and I just really want to encourage anyone to think about your lived experiences. Think about in what ways things fed into that fear of abandonment. If you have that, think about how you can work on your healing processes. Think about how you can take steps to basically dig out the root of that fear of abandonment. And just remember, if you don't know this, God is with you. God has never left you. God will never leave or forsake you. And I'm willing to bet that if you are able to look through the entirety of your lived experiences, you can see how God's hand has always been with you. Because as it is written, he is with you. And as it is written, he will never leave or forsake you. Even if people might. Because honestly, with the exception of your parents, everyone has the freedom to make choices that are in their best interest. And if that means cutting someone off or letting someone go, that's what people are going to do. So there should not be such a huge propensity of a fear of abandonment that I have experienced and I've seen in this world. I just think that people would have a lot more freedom if they allowed themselves to love freely and to be loved freely. And I think part of how we engage in that understanding of loving freely is by knowing that God has never left or forsaken us. What are your thoughts?